with me, what we're going to be doing is covering some of the material that are in these slides, and the learning objectives are going to be that hopefully you'll be able to develop an awareness of the challenges of behavioral health disorders, and you'll begin to understand the differences between normality and abnormality. So when we think about the range of people's thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, there is quite a range here. And what we have to try to do is to determine what normality looks like compared to what abnormality looks like. So when you think about behavioral health, what we're really considering is how someone mentally and emotionally functions, and that includes the choices and actions that do affect their wellness. So when we think about behavioral health disorders, what we're really thinking about are both mental health issues as well as issues around substance use. And depending on the level of severity of some of these issues, many times people can be in situations where they're very life-threatening and that they're at risk. But the good news is that these challenges, these mental health and substance use issues are indeed treatable. So it's always good to think about the fact that even though clients can present in very difficult situations, as I'm sure you know, based on your work, that these issues are treatable. So when we think about the range of what's normal versus what's abnormal, we have to think about these 4 Ds. And these 4 Ds are characterized by deviance, distress, dysfunction, and finally, danger. So deviance, in a sense, is what is different than what would be socially acceptable, what would be outside the range of societal norms. So if the client is exhibiting behaviors, thoughts, and emotions that differ from those societal norms, then we would consider them to be somewhat deviant. Now, again, I know deviance has a very negative connotation, and I'm not trying to say that. I'm simply saying that if what the client is doing is outside the realm of normality, then we would consider that issue as being deviant. The next one is around distress. So many times, these signs and symptoms, mental health issues, substance use issues, can create distress. People can feel very distressed. And so given that feeling of being distressed or diseased, they would be labeled as abnormal. The third area that we're talking about here is dysfunction. And basically what we're talking about are behaviors, in a sense, that interfere with daily functioning. Now, again, as the slide suggests, culture does matter. So you really have to pay attention to culture when you think about what is dysfunctional. And then finally, the issue of danger. If the client poses a risk to themselves or others, their behavior poses that risk, then we would consider them to be dangerous. And that, again, is one of the 4 Ds that epitomizes mental health and substance use disorders.